If you're a pedal nerd like me, I have a real treat for you in this video. One of the coolest parts about working with a pedal company is going to trade shows. And in today's video, I'm gonna take you inside a trade show, introducing you to about 60 pedals from 9 different companies: Acorn Amplifiers, Summer School Electronics, AV8 Audio, Super Cool Pedals, Voltic Electronics, Tubesteader, Death by Audio, Spooky Circuits, and Chase Bliss. You'll meet the reps for each of these companies who will walk you through their pedal lineups. We are so excited to go to NAMM next week, the biggest music trade show in the US. And part of our excitement is to be able to see all these friends we made at the Brooklyn Synth and Pedal Expo who are going to NAMM. Let's check it out. This is Bill from Acorn Amplifiers. He's going to walk us through their amazing products on their pedal board here.
All right, here we go through the board. First up, we got the TMA1. This is a 4-stage fuzz pedal. It lights up to look like HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey. The 2 toggle switches are switching between the 2 middle gain stages of the 4 gain stages. So in the down position, you have germanium clipping. In the up position, you have silicon clipping. And in the middle position, you're actually bypassing that clipping stage. So you can actually make this into a 2-stage, 3-stage, or 4-stage fuzz, depending on how you have those toggle switches. Right next to that is our Epstein Didn't Kill Himself fuzz. You can click it on, and it lights up in a unique, fun way, and it's just a simple 3-stage fuzz pedal with an LPB1 boost at the very end of it. Next to that is our ADHD octave synth pedal. This is a fuzz octave pedal that also has an aggressive self-oscillating synth tone. When you bring up the threshold control, it'll start oscillating on its own, and then you can move the pitch around with the frequency knob. It also has an expression out that you can move the pitch with an expression pedal. So very aggressive, very wild fuzz pedal. Next to that, you have our, what we call the Saiyan Sound series. These are 2 pedals based on the Dragon Ball Z series. The first is the Kakarot fuzz, which is another just simple 3-stage fuzz pedal. Just 2 knobs. It lights up in another unique, fun way, charging up his power blast. And then right next to him is the Vegeta Drive, also lights up in a fun way. This is a single op-amp distortion pedal with a boost that just bypasses the clipping, the LED clipping at the end for a little bit of a clean boost, if you want, with the Majin Boost switch. Next to that, you're looking at the Another Effing clone, a true circuit replica of the OG Klon Centaur. The only addition that we did was a bass boost or bass cut kind of toggle switch. Other than that, it's buffered, bypass, and it's got all the exact same circuitry as the original Klon. Up on the top right corner, you're looking at the Mind Killer double distortion pedal. This is 2 single op-amp distortion pedals in series, one feeding right into the other. So the way I like to typically use it is voice one side as my boost, voice the other side as my drive. So I have 2 different flavors there, and then when I hit both at the same time, it gets really thick and huge for an additional drive tone. Next to that is the Music-Go-Round repeater. Last year, we made a commemorative delay pedal for this music store called Music-Go-Round. They're essentially like the Play It Again Sports of music gear. And they asked us to make a pedal for them to commemorate their 30th anniversary. So we made a simple little delay pedal for them and that you can find at all the Music-Go-Rounds around the country. Next to that is the MIGFET Transistor 50P preamp. This is the exact circuit replica of the original Sovtech MIG-50 preamp. So it's got JFETs in place of preamp tubes, so you get a lot of that same compression. It's got a lot of low end on tap, and yeah, it's the MIG-50 preamp only. Next to that is the solid state preamplifier. This is the preamp only version of the PV Decade pedal that became very popular a couple years ago when Josh from Queens of the Stone Age said he used this amplifier in the studio. So we were able to fit the preamp that has 2 channels, this normal and a saturation, into the pedal. The only addition that we added was a thick switch, which is essentially like a tone bypass. It essentially like turns all the controls up to 10 when you have the thick switch engaged. Next to that, we're debuting our super secret prototype of a double fuzz pedal that we hope to release either late this year, 2024, or early 2025. This is a fader fuzz that's based closely on the Ibanez standard fuzz, which has an additional foot switch that lets you select between like either a mid-scoop or a mid-boost kind of a situation. And we wanted to be able to access both of those at the same time. So you have 2 of the same circuit together at once, and you can kind of blend which one you want and how you want it. And then finally, we have the solid state. This is a PV Decade amp again, but this is the entire amp, preamp and power amp. So you have the full 10-watt power amp as well as the preamp in this circuit. So you can actually plug this directly into a speaker cab, and this could be your entire 10-watt amplifier. That's why I have it at the end of the chain here, because like this could essentially be the amp of my rig. But yeah, again, 2 channels, really bright and chimey, really tight gain, and that's everything. The last thing that we have to talk about, of course, is the Big Puff, which isn't a pedal, it's just a novelty, but it obviously looks like the Big Muff, but it's a cigarette lighter and ashtray novelty just for the guitarist that loves pedals.
One take, look at that, amazing.
Appreciate it, guys.
This is Steve from Summer School Electronics. He's got some really cool looking pedals. Let's check it out.
How you doing? I'm Steve with Summer School Electronics. We're here in beautiful Brooklyn, New York at the Delicious Audio Synth and Pedal Expo. We are here showing off our line, and it's been a real fun 2 days. Met a lot of cool people, and saw a lot of crazy headless Strandbergs. Let's see, if we go down the line here. We've got the Gus Drive and the Gus Plus. They are a DoD 250 style drive distortion. The Gus Plus having the clean blend, so it's technically a bass pedal, but works great for guitar as well. Gladys modified blues breaker. You got a switch to add compression, high and low EQ. Here's our newest entry, the extra credit boost. When it's over here, you got just the volume, it's a clean boost. Pop it over here, you get the brightness knob, which adds some twang, a little bit of grit to it. This guy here is our most famous pedal to date. You've got a Rat on this side, a Tube Screamer on this side. They're in parallel, and you've got a blend between them. So you've got both pedals and everything in between. The Pepperelli Fuzz is a beast. Mark calls it the fuzz for people that hate fuzz, but when you crank this thing up, it's gnarly. It's a lot of fun, and you can get all sorts of tones from it. It really cranks up at the end. Down here we have the half-day compressor, which is a raw-style compressor with a switch to change the input capacitance for guitar or bass. And I've used it on both. I love it. Very squishy, very slappy on the bass. Moving over, we have the Class Reunion, which is our Trash Panda, which is a modified Big Muff circuit. You've got the Trash Panda on this side, you've got a 90s Big Muff on this side, you've got a blend between the two, volume and diode switching, and the diode switching radically changes the sound of the whole pedal. Down here is the same pedal, but with our special Halloween limited edition artwork. I went over the Trash Panda, modified Big Muff, and the Snow Day delay here is basically 4 delay pedals in one. You've got this to switch between the 2 delay times, and when it's up here, you've got Blizzard mode, which is the delays in parallel, and on this side, you've got the delays at the same time, which overloads the circuit and really saturates it. Thank you.
Okay, this is Ryan from Aviate Audio. Let's check out their super cool cutting-edge product.
Hey, thanks for checking out our Multiverse pedal. The Aviate Audio Multiverse is a multi-effects processor and synthesizer now. You can hook up your own MIDI controller and play synth effects. New for this month, we'll be releasing this shortly. The cool thing about Multiverse is it is comprised of third-party effects from independent creators. All of the effects that you see here are made by a bunch of different developers. We got over 40 effects now from a variety of developers, lots of different categories. So once you download the different effects from our website, you can then place them on your own virtual pedal board and configure the pedal to be exactly how you want for your setup. The pedal is stereo, TRS in and out, and every parameter from every effect is assignable to the hardware. So you can see if you want to put your depth knob here on encoder A, you just click and drag, and then it's assigned over here to encoder A. Now everything is editable on the pedal, so this screen you see here is just your laptop computer. Once you set it up at home, you save it to the pedal, and then you can take this standalone to the gig. All the audio processing is being done on the pedal itself.
I'm here with Jamie and Carissa from Super Cool Pedals, and their pedals are indeed super cool. They're gonna show us their pedal board here. Let's check it out.
Yeah, everything's hand-built and assembled in Toronto, Canada here. So right down to the designs of everything. As you can see, everything's been influenced from, some iconic commercial art and lithography that have influenced me over the years. Obviously, we got Camel cigarettes here. The Lorax, Dr. Seuss, I love his art. So The illustrations obviously are not the most important part of the pedal. Fundamentally, on the inside here, I take probably too much care and time designing and working on some existing circuits and tweaking them till I get them sounding a little bit more different. So this guy's my take on the Klon, for example, the famous Klon Centaur. This is based off of the Op Amp Big Muff, except you've got a clean blend in there and a variable tone stack. This guy here I'm super proud of. This is my baby. It took me about a year of development, but it's my version of the EHX small clone, except it's using new stock Bucket Brigade chips, which enables me to get a much cleaner sound and less distortion out of that Bucket Brigade chip than you can typically get. I'm going to brag a little bit. I won an award from Premier Guitar, gave me their gear award for that guy, so I'm super proud of him. But yeah, that's the run of the gamut here. Everything's hand assembled and handmade, and I always put a little bit of more focus on the art of these pedals too, because for me, pedals are a special little object, and I love kind of infusing a little bit more style and design into everything that we make here.
What's up, everybody? My name is John from Voltic Electronic Devices. We are a pedal company based in Wilmington, Delaware, and we specialize in building pedals using point-to-point and stripboard techniques. We build boosts, overdrives, and fuzzes. These are two of our main guys right now. This is the Awkward Mustache, which is an Op Amp Big Muff. It uses power amp chips instead of preamp chips, so you get ton of volume, ton of gain. It has great cleanup and clarity when you're playing complex chords. This pedal is called the Dual Transistor Fuzz, and it's kind of a harmonic percolator, pushing a MOSFET booster. Really great for that Steve Albini tone. Also a great overdrive, great boost, depending on how you have it set. So on the board we have the Awkward Mustache Op Amp Big Muff, Dual Transistor Fuzz, harmonic percolator into MOSFET booster. This is our newest pedal, the Smalls Fuzz, which is kind of based around the Sam Ash Fuzz from the 60s. Fuzz face for people that don't like fuzz faces. Works really great as a fuzz when you crank it, but can also be a preamp when you back off the volume knob on the guitar. And then we have a couple one-offs here. We have a Germanium Range Master that's a voltage inverter on the foot switch, so you can daisy chain it with no noise issues. And then over here, we have a clone of the Hohner Tri-Dirty Booster, which is an early Big Muff clone that kind of combines all the best features of a V2 Ram's head with the bass of a Civil War.
So cool. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
This is Oli from Tubesteader. He's going to show off his pedals for us.
What we do here, we are building a front end of your big tube amp in a pedal format to capture this feel and tone of the legendary amp you always wanted to have, and put it in a compact format. Then you can complete your setup with a cab sim and run into the front of house or a recording interface, or you can run it directly into a effects return, into a power amp, or even into the front end of your amp, but then it will be depending on how bright your amp is. So these are each one of these pedals is based on different preamp section of an amp. This is based on Orange, Overdrive Special, Dumble Overdrive Special, Magneton Super 59, vintage Fender Tweed amps, and this is clean channel of Dumble amp standalone. All of them have tubes, and they run at high voltage, just in a real tube preamp.
Okay, we're over here with Noah and Cameron at the Death by Audio booth, and they're going to show us their awesome pedals.
How's it going, guys? I'm Noah with Death by Audio. We're here at the Brooklyn Stompbox exhibit showing off our crazy devices. All right, so our latest and greatest is the Bass War, which follows up our most popular flagship, Fuzz War. It's a different circuit, but it shares some of the heart of that one, and it's just the most massive bass distortion you could possibly imagine. Just before that, we re-released our Octave Clang, which was one of the original DBA designs, known for being really, really intense and getting some very insane non-guitar sounds. Now it's back. We put some extra features in it. Better than ever. We've got our classics, Reverberation Machine, Echo Dream 2, Apocalypse. Those are our big hitters in terms of maybe what we're known for. I'm a huge fan of our Space Bender and Germanium filters. These two are, I think of as like the breaking glass kind of sound. We have some really intense filtering, distortion, and then crazy envelope chorus flanger delay that adds this insane metallic sound on top of your sound. And that's a lot of what we're here doing. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, that is our super big, super blown out super intense medical grade filter chip filter. It's a multi-mode hyper resonant filter with a fuzz, and you can express it. It's the evilest wah you've ever heard, and it's great in the studio for shaping crazy drums and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for having us.
This is Kevin from Spooky Circuits. He's got some of the coolest pedals at the Synth and Pedal Expo. Let's walk through the board.
All right, so first we got my brand new reverb pedal called the Weebird Reverb. It's a multi-mode reverb pedal with a delay, a modulated spring mode, a pitch shifter, and then a bunch of weird versions of each of those. And then there's a germanium gain stage that you can pre-gain or post-gain. Instant shoegaze, instant noise. That also can sound pretty if you want it to. And then this is a new prototype we just got working a few days ago. It's a chorus pedal, but it's also a lot more. It's got a delay that you can turn into a flanger. It's got a pitch shifter. It's got a vibrato. And then there's a ramp switch that you can ramp any of the functions with the dip switch. So anything you want, you can turn it into like a crazy transition. This one over here is called the God Crusher Death Ray Repeater Signal Destabilizer Horrible Delay. And it's also a prototype that'll be coming out soon. Basically, it's what we were going for with this one was if you found like an old delay in the back of an old studio that didn't work properly, and that magic that you're like, I need this because it doesn't work properly. That's what we were trying to capture with this one. So it's very much it sounds broken, it is broken, and that's kind of why we love it. And then this over here is a boost that looks like a NASCAR. It sounds great. I always wanted a boost that looked like a NASCAR, so it's there. And then this one here is the Grunge and Anger. This will be coming out in a few months. It's like a screaming synth voice on this side, all analog, and then this side is a ring mod fuzz. So you stomp between it to get these crazy noise solos and stuff. And then here is the Harman Balance. This is one of my most popular pedals. You can switch between all the different clipping diodes. It's a germanium harmonic percolator style circuit. So you can asymmetrical clip everything. You can kind of mix and match, do whatever you want. And then, crank that gain or roll it off for a nice overdrive. And it rips on a bass. It's my favorite pedal for bass. And that's all. Thank you.
This is Cleo from Chase Bliss. They have incredible pedals that do amazing things. So let's check out their board.
All right, we've got a bunch of stuff here. We've got the Preamp Mark II, which is our collaboration with Benson. It's also got a fuzz circuit. You can select the diode type, open or gated fuzz circuit, and then it's got this crazy Q-band mid-filtering circuit. Blooper is an experimental looper. You can add a bunch of different effects to it. You can also use it as a delay pedal. And then Habit shares a lot of DNA with Blooper, but it's kind of the opposite. It's like an experimental delay pedal that you can have some like looping capabilities and this really unique memory function. Onward is going to be, it's like we're calling it like an auto freeze or like a dynamic sampler. 2-channel effect. On this side, it's going to be a bit more of like a synth pad type sound. The glitch is going to be a bit more rhythmic. You've got a bunch of different ways you can like affect those freezes and micro loops. It's really, really fun, really wild, and it follows what you do because it's an envelope controlled effect. So it's kind of like a little like accompaniment buddy. I really like it. Mood this is Mood Mark II, so it's our second version of this pedal. I kind of call it like an ambient, like multi effect. It really does a lot. It's got a really nice stereo reverb, delay, and then the slip mode feature, which is kind of like this one repeat delay that you can go forward and backwards. Any interval you can pitch it to, goes 2 octaves up and then down a little too, forward and backward. And then on this side, it's the micro loopers. So you've got 3 different types of micro loopers. This envelope one is really cool. It as you play into it, if you have something you're looping, you play a note, it will grab a little section of that while you're playing and just repeat it. Cool pitching one. And then this like granular style stretch thing that I really like. And then it's all globally controlled by this clock knob, which goes up and fits in octaves. Gen loss is going to be like tape, lo-fi tape style effect. Lots of different like modulation, 12 different models of tape. It's got all kinds of cool stuff in there. Lossy is going to be like a lo-fi, like Y2K internet sound dreamscape. A lot of people think it's a bit crusher. It's not quite. It's its own thing. It's our collaboration with Goodhertz, so it's based off of their plugin. And then this is our newest pedal, Loom Tone, our collaboration with Billy Strings, the Billy Strings Loom Tone. And it is a phaser. It's a multi-stage phaser. You can have it be 2, 4, or 6 stages. And then on this newest version, we increased the headroom, and it's also got an envelope control, which is really cool. I'm not aware of too many other envelope-controlled phasers. It's really unique. And then CXM, the last thing we've got today, is going to be a really, really powerful stereo reverb based off of the old Lexicon unit that Vangelis used. And it's got some new features in there too. Higher clock times, lower clock times, modulation. Lots of really beautiful sounds in there.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
So there you go, folks. If you love pedals as much as I do, you're salivating over at least 10 different pedals from that video. Several pedals that I had to have and took home with me, as you can see on the bottom row here. And of course, we also showed off our own pedals, our brand new Gravity Well, and our flagship distortion, the Pet Yeti. If you're going to NAMM, we'd love to meet you there. Come by the Delicious Audio Stompbox booth number 4944 in Hall D. Some of the other builders you saw in this video will be there, and we can't wait to take part in our first NAMM.